On a side note, what do you make of the applause that was given in the House chambers when it was announced that Matt Gaetz will not be returning?
I can give you some news on that because right after that first vote, I jumped over and saw, because I saw Matt Gaetz was on got up on Charlie Kirk's show. So I hopped over there to see what they were talking about. And what they were talking about was, and this is before the two guys switched their votes. This was like 10 minutes before that happened. And what Gaetz said is like, I have my certificate of election. I could have showed up to vote today. And he said, I had a contingency plan. I had a plane ticket. And I talked to Mike Johnson last night. And he said, if Mike Johnson had asked me to go, I would have showed up today, cast my vote for Johnson, and then resigned. However, Johnson assured me that he had the votes and didn't need me. So that was somewhat interesting little nugget right there, that Gaetz was prepared to go today. Now, obviously, that could have blown up in their face if he didn't have the votes. But,
can you imagine if that happened?
But by the way, Charlie Kirk responded, said, look, I don't know what to tell you, Gaetz, because 99% of the emails we've gotten, and we've gotten thousands of them, everyone hates Mike Johnson in the MAGA movement. So this is going to, just because he won today, this is going to be a very bumpy ride for this guy.
Oh, it's not going to.
There's a lot of Republicans that don't like him.
I agree. I think it's going to be very bumpy. With that said, what did you make of the appearance of Matt Gaetz last night on television? You had mentioned that he looked like a Wayne Newton, or maybe even a Catwoman for that matter. What do you make of his appearance? What I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, I saw a few media outlets embedded my tweet in their story comparing him to Wayne Newton.
Right.
I guess what they're saying is it was the makeup job. I mean, I thought he went in for another Botox. I mean, I don't know who's, of course, this is OAN, and this is his first night. This is a big night, right? His first big night as an OAN anchor. So in the span of like 24 hours on his first day on the job, he shows up with just a horrendous makeup job or Botox job or whatever. Again, we saw this again when he spoke at the Republican National Convention.
Right, I was just going to say that.
Look going on.
Yeah.
Then he talks about Fauci declaring martial law and spells martial wrong twice. Then he, then he almost blew the Speaker Johnson vote by not showing up because they thought it was in the bag, and it wasn't. At least it wasn't initially. So, yeah, he's having a hell of a first day. What that shows is like when you're in. Keep in mind, his whole life he's only been an elected official. He was like a lawyer for a couple of years. So they're surrounded by support staff and people that help you and feed you stuff. So he doesn't really have that anymore. He's kind of on his own. And now we're seeing like what a screw up he is.
And as you pointed out on social media, this was Donald Trump's #1 pick for AG. It is mesmerizing, but I guess at this point, not surprising if